So recently, I made a video talking about professional boxer Ryan Garcia and his racial remarks that he's taking a lot of heat for, and that got me thinking. We, I feel like we as people, we never really talk about why people fall into those racial positions, into those mind states where they're feeling like racist. I feel like all we ever do is talk about if someone is racist, what they're doing to hold back another group, where did racism come from. But I feel like we never talk about why are some of the main reasons why people fall into these racial positions. And I really believe one of the main reasons is because of relationships. Seriously. Okay, so how many times, what do you think the chances are? What do you think the chances are that if you got a couple, right? They've been together for a long time, or not even a long time, whatever. They're just officially a couple, and we'll just we'll say the woman is the one who's cheating, just because I feel like the man is typically more prideful, so he's gonna try to find some reason to cope with it in the forms of feeling like he's still self confident, superior to the situation. So okay, so we'll just say, and actually, I think statistically women do cheat more. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if that's an actual, if that's a factual fact, as they say these days, or if that's an accurate, statistic. But I hear that women do cheat more by a little bit, just a little bit. So, all right. So let's say you got this couple. The girlfriend cheated on the boyfriend with someone of a different racial group. What do you think the chances are of that man developing a prejudice or a bias towards that racial group? I feel like it's pretty much like the chances is like a 10 times out of 10. He's going to find a bias. Excuse me, somebody's here. Sorry. Somebody's walking up. Threw me off a little bit. But okay, so yeah, what do you think the chances are of that man developing a prejudice towards that person, that person's race or that person's ethnicity, when his girl just cheated on him with them, with that different racial ethnicity? Because if it was like the same racial ethnicity that she cheated with, racial group, whatever you want to call it, racial race and ethnicity is different. So yeah, if it's from the same racial group, I pretty the man is probably not gonna have a reason to become racial or racist, right? Because it's the same racial group. But if it's a different racial group, I definitely believe the man is going to try to think of the easiest way to salvage his pride, his self-esteem. And that's why I feel like the man is more likely to fall into a racial position if he gets cheated on because of pride. So I feel like it's pretty much a no-brainer that if that person is from a different racial ethnicity or from a different racial group, I feel like it's a no-brainer that he's gonna cling on to that, because especially in the society, in the world we live in, like there's many people out here who put out this, these alternative facts, or put out this misleading information that is meant to make one feel more superior than the other racial group. Excuse me. So it'd be too easy for that man to attack that other person's racial group and be like, oh yeah, you cheated on me with him and shit, whatever, blah blah, or that dumbass, Asian dude, and this and that's what Asians whatever. Start thinking of all kinds of stereotypes and shit. That's why Asians can't drive, which is a dumb stereotype. But anyways, so I feel like that they would literally cling to every stereotype that is circulating in society, and that's what they're gonna just like. That's what they're gonna hang their hat on, and they're gonna find themselves becoming this racial person, developing this bias towards that racial group just because his girlfriend cheated on him with that person of a different racial group. Like I said, if it was from the same racial group, then they probably talk about um, money or something like that. So socioeconomic class. Oh, that poor bastard. You know, he cheated on me with that dude. He got he ain't got no money and shit. Or he's short as heck. You know what I mean? Or you cheating with that short dude or whatever it may be. You know. But if he's somebody of a different like color ethnicity, that's they're gonna cling on to that. And if they don't and if they're not careful, they're gonna fall into a permanent mind state of this racial superiority or whatever you want to call it. And they don't even got to get cheated on because they don't even have to get cheated on. They could just be simply the man thinks that the woman is developing a bias, through maybe even like television, like certain things circulating, in the media, like they say the media is, one year deciding to, make it seem like Mexicans are, the the coolest thing since sliced cheese or something, right? So yeah, I feel like that person will the woman or whoever will start like maybe developing a little bias towards that racial group just because of that's what's circulating throughout the media and all that. So then the man sees that his girl's developing some type of like bias, and maybe he don't have trust in her, you know what I mean? That maybe they don't got trust or communication in their relationship. So he's gonna just be like, oh no, she definitely likes these goddamn spics, whatever, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, he's fallen into like a racial state of mind all over a relationship. Like you fill yourself up with this bitterness and this ignorance all over, trying to secure love or whatever it may be. And I feel like that's something we don't, like I said earlier, we don't talk about much, are the reasons why people fall into these positions. And I feel like it's important though, I feel like I really do feel it's important because I feel like once we realize that okay, I'm developing a bias because not because of them, but because of my girl, because me and her aren't talking or communicating like we're supposed to, because me and her don't have trust, or because maybe she's not for me, maybe she don't really love me, maybe she got into this relationship for all the wrong reasons, maybe there's something I did to make her develop a bias, or maybe she thinks I got a bias towards blondes or whatever, you know what I mean? So I feel like if we just realize the reasons of why we start becoming and thinking racial, I feel like that can help us catch ourselves before we get too far, before we fall too deep into that pit, you know. And I do have another reason, but it's already I'm at 9 minutes. I do have, like I said, because now I'm thinking about these things, and there's also another reason why I feel like people fall into these racial, racist positions. But like I said, I don't want to talk about. I'll make another one quickly of why that. I'm not one of those people that's gonna try to like fish string it along. It's already at almost 9.5 minutes, so I don't want to make it too long because I'm hoping people are kind of watching the whole video, and 10 minutes is kind of a lot as it is. So yeah, I do want to make more videos. Like expounding on the whole racial phenomenon. You know what I mean? So maybe we can all come to a consensus, a conclusion, a gathering that can make us all feel stronger within, more peaceful within, and more educated within and without. I don't think that was the right terminology. Without, on the out. But so yeah, Again, I appreciate the time that you guys gave me. Appreciate the time you guys took to watch this. I hope again it was somewhat informative and somewhat time worthy. Truly, hope again it was. And I will see you on the next one. All right, bye con Dios. Peace.